Four teams met in Cologne, Germany. The Koreans came in force: Moon, Lin, Soju, and Fob. China had its own contingent, led by Sky and Infi. Four teams, one title. This is the Warcraft 3 Champions League Finals on Imbalanced. The regular season ended with Meet Your Makers in first place. A 6-point margin separated the second-place World Elite. Tied for points was SK Gaming, followed closely by the Beijing esports teams. Meet Your Makers won the Warcraft 3 Champions League 3 seasons ago, but since then they haven't managed to repeat. SK is in even more of a slump. They made it to the playoffs in all but 2 seasons, but they haven't won since the second season. This year their roster contains a good portion of the winning World Elite team from last year. World Elite has become a Chinese team, and now to defend their title they have to go through their old roster, now in SK. We only have time to cover 3 matches from the Clan War, so I'll tell you that Sky has already beaten Insomnia, and Lin continued his success after the Make Games colorful victory with a win over Like, which evens up the Clan War at 1 win apiece. World Elite needs their other human, Infi, to step up and beat Remind. The two started on Echo Wilds, where Infi put up a fast expansion. Remind with the Beastmaster, but an early surround let one tower get up. Remind hurries back in time to go for the guard tower, but he can't finish it off. Instead of pushing the expansion, Remind goes for the main base. He fights against Militia, a dangerous move, and he ends up paying for it. He stays on the offensive against Infi, who has yet to get tier 2 units. It works for a while. Infi switches to Blizzard to complement the Panda, but even with a level 5 Beastmaster, Remind has to give up the map. The next map is Twisted Meadows, where Infi again creeps his expansion. Remind gets a little too aggressive and goes into Infi's base with his Demon Hunter. He has a town portal, but that doesn't stop him from harassing Infi's expansion. Infi focused on getting the expansion up quickly instead of a tower. He pays for it with peasant blood. In the meantime, Remind easily walks his expansion in at tier 2. Infi goes in with steam tanks on that expansion. It doesn't turn out well for him. Infi is playing the mass expansion game, so he towers one up, while he also manages to take out Remind's expansion with 6 tanks, but none of them make it out. Infi cannot manage to tower up another expansion. He towers up the back of one, but it doesn't help against a level 6 Demon Hunter. Remind finishes off another couple of heroes to take the game. The final map is Terranistan, and again it's a fast expansion for Infi. Remind goes a little bit old school with the Dark Ranger and completely shuts down Infi's expansion, but Infi put up a tower on an expansion in the other side of the map. In the meantime, Remind goes into fighting against Militia. The general concept is good, but he doesn't manage to build up his army of skeletons to dominate the Militia, and instead he has to town portal out. Remind catches on to Infi's expansion, but against the towers he can't take it down, and at the same time Infi is taking out his expansion. Both players got high level heroes quickly with a level 6 Archmage and a level 5 Dark Ranger. Infi knows that Remind is just harassing his expansion, so he brings in 3 Sappers and goes and takes down Remind's main. Remind continues going after the expansion, but in the meantime Infi takes down Remind's last source of income. Infi dominates the Panda. Without any cash, Remind gives up the game, and that puts the Clan War 2-1 in World Elite's favor. World Elite have a chance of winning the Clan War if Suho can beat the Electronic Sports World Cup champion Soju. At tier 2, Suho goes on the offensive, but he can't do much damage. They both make it to bears, and Suho gets creep jacked, but he gets the Demon Hunter to even up the fight. Soju sticks around to fight, even without his Demon Hunter, and he manages to keep the battle even. They fight again, and this time it's Suho's Demon Hunter that falls first. Suho tries to run away, but he loses 2 bears in the process, giving Soju a nice advantage. Soju presses in against a 50-food Suho, and he dominates the battle to get the first map. The next map is Echo Wilds. Suho gets the advantage early with an archer kill and continues it at tier 2 with a Naga kill while he saves his own Naga with an invulnerability potion. Suho doesn't try a push, so they both make it to bears. Soju gets an extra couple of bears and pushes Sohu away. Suho loses his Naga right when Soju loses his Demon Hunter. Soju backs away, but he comes back later to force a town portal. They fight in the middle of the map, bear on bear, and Soju has the numbers again. Suho can't manage any hero kills. In the end, Soju has a ton of red health bears, but Suho doesn't have any units left to finish them off, so Soju sweeps the series in 2 games. That leaves the 2 versus 2 to be the deciding game. SK puts up their duo of Remind and Soju to play against World Elite's lesser-known pair of Like and Ted. They start on Nullwood, where World Elite gets a hero kill and follow it up with control over the fountain. They fight at tier 2, and SK dominates World Elite's heroes. SK tries some flanking to try and avoid the Fiends dominating their drives, but they don't manage a good setup and have to back off. Instead, World Elite go on the offensive. Remind's Orc army is crippled, but Soju is there to back him up. SK dominates the battle to take their first convincing lead. Now they go on the offensive, and the Massive Dryads win them the first map. The next map is Turtle Rock, where World Elite waits much longer to tech while SK techs quickly. World Elite goes on the offensive at Tier 2, and they have some very large armies. They get a couple of hero kills and push SK back into Remine's base. They fight there, and things don't look too good for SK. World Elite tries to focus the Demon Hunter, but they can't finish him off, and now the Death Knight has to town portal out. They fight with the Creep Jacket, the red creeps. The battle is half against each other and half against the creeps. The battle continues on, and World Elite has the army advantage. SK has the extra heroes, though. The Demon Hunter makes it out twice, but then the Crypt Lord and Death Knight fall. The Lich follows, and now SK has a hero advantage, and that's what they needed. The Shadow Hunter kill is just icing on the cake as SK cruises to a 2 vs 2 victory and a berth in the upper bracket finals.